Okay, let's take a few notes here today, and then I'm going to get you started on what we're doing. I think you're going to like it. It's kind of right up to what we've been working on lately, and hopefully this will make sense to you. All right, we've been working on conversions, right? We've been on section 6.1 and 6.2, working on how to convert items from one to the other. This will be our last day conversions, and then we're going to be looking at how to use stuff more and more in those later sections. You know, word form, and we'll get to sentence form, and we'll talk about how to solve. The big thing today, we're still dealing with percent, so don't get me wrong, that is kind of a huge idea that we're doing today. But I want us to be able to take a percent, and if we can, change to fraction form, or if you have a fraction, can we get it to decimal form?
Or maybe.
And if we have decimal form, then you can definitely change it back to percent. Because if you have decimal, then it's easy to go back to percent. Because decimals, you just move the decimal over and you have the percent. That's kind of the easy form of it. So here's my goal. Okay, so let's start with one of the examples. So I'll let you guys kind of pick a number. So Sam, it'll be my first example here. Pick any two-digit number you'd like. Has to have two numbers in it.
21.
21. Okay, so let's say we have 21%. Let's focus on how to change that to a decimal and how to change that to a fraction. Got it?
Yep.
All right, so here we go. So 21. So first, to change 21, right now 21 is written like this, 21%, the decimal's right there. If we change it to decimal form, here's the trick. If it's in percent, you move this decimal over 2 spots, move 2 spots to the left. It's always 2 spots. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-digit number, you know, 1-digit number, it does not matter. So if I move this over 2 spots, what's my decimal going to be? 0.21, yep, 0.21. You're absolutely right. This, what you're looking at, is decimal form. It is the same number as what you have there. Okay, now, to change it to fraction form, to change this to a fraction, you take this number, you count, or the 21 will go on the top. How many numbers are after the decimal?
2.
2. You're going to put 2 zeros on the bottom. And you'll try to simplify that fraction down if it goes. It won't. These all mean the same thing. So this is fraction form. What I'm going to do today is we're going to try one out here in a minute. We'll do an example here. I'm going to give you slips of paper. Both of you are going to get just a massive amount of paper in front of you. Just it has little slips. I think there's like 15 or something slips of paper. You need to group them up where the fractions are grouped with the decimal, which is grouped with the percent on the ones that match. So there's 3 numbers that match. It could be a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. You have to figure out which 3 are paired together. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You're seeing how to do it right here. So if you have the percent, you can move the decimal back and then change that to a fraction. Now, what we talked about the other day, what happens if you have a fraction? So now, Eric, you get to make this up. Make up any fraction you want.
250 over 2.
250
Over 2.
over 2,000?
No, just 2.
I want to say 2,000.
Oh,
I don't want to have any improper stuff. All right, so if they give you a fraction like this, it could be simplified, but let's say they give you this. Here's what I'd like you to do. On your calculators, you guys have one right now. Take 250, divide by 2,000. You're going to divide these right away. So divide numerator. So divide numerator by the denominator.
0.125.
Say it again.
0.125.
0.125. All right. That's your decimal form, so this is in decimal. And then, since it's in decimal form, to change that to a percent, if I have to go that route, if you need to change this to a percent, you're going to move the decimal 2 spots to the right. 2 spots
To the right.
to the right.
To the left. To the left.
Now, if I move that decimal 2 spots to the right, that direction, what's my percent going to be?
That direction?
That direction, yep. 2
right.
spots.
12.5?
12.5. 12.5, and that's your percent. Okay, because you're moving the decimal 2 spots, so it's going to here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, Just be careful. Now, if they ever start with a decimal and no percent on it, you can change it to fraction, then divide, and you can figure out the percent. Or if you have this, you move it 2 spots. So it depends on where you're starting. So I'm giving you these options. All right, so here's our little activity today. Okay? You guys can work together. We use calculators, all that good stuff. I have a bunch of slips of paper here. You need to figure out the pairings. They come in pairs of 3s. Some, here's what I'm gonna warn you, some of these may not have a pair. So you're just gonna put them off to the side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. I'll stop the camera, and then we're gonna start it over there, and I'll let you guys kind of work.
Alright, which one are you doing?
I'm working on these. I have to work on these.
So grab a couple. You're gonna start to try to pair them together. You're trying to pair the percent with the decimals with the fractions. So maybe you're more comfortable taking a percent, changing it to a decimal, and changing it back to a fraction. Or maybe you're the person that likes fractions, changing to decimals, then in percents. You need to figure out the pairings. Where,
I need
which,
41%.
which one goes where? So
41%?
Yes.
I think there's a 41.3.
That one's done.
okay.
8 mini slips of papers are hard to pick up.
Yeah, some will have pairs, some won't. So you're gonna have to be careful.
2, 5.
That one doesn't even have anything on it.
Oh, I need that one. Sorry. That one's definitely not paired to mine.
Apparently none of them do.
Okay. I got 2.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Didn't you say you need a...
I got it already.
Is there anything that goes with this one?
1 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4. That goes here. .233. This.
Oh, 0.233. What is that? What you said?
Yeah, right here. I need 33%.
Are these ones together too with those ones or no?
No, this is all separate.
So then put separate and these ones still get to go.
Okay. 12.
Where's this one?
You're wrong.
I know, I'm just setting them there. Ow.
Yeah.
6, 8, 6, 8.
31.
There you go. Now you're thinking about it.
That goes here.
Hold on.
Wait. This is. We're 2.5.
This one goes with this.
You type it in wrong? You did type it. You typed it in wrong.
Oh.
Type it in 10. Okay. And the last one, you got one weird one.
That down here. 32.
Isn't that one just by itself? Haha.
Alright, goes there. Alright, so let's talk about these. So let's look at this first one. Why do we know that these went together? What was the clear sign?
Well, first of all, you got all the
Ones and
3s and all
threes.
this and stuff.
So,
Well, so since there's the 41 right there.
So spotting the percent and the decimal, very, very easy, because you're absolutely right. The easiest way to spot it, the decimal and the percent have the same digits, the first 3 numbers. So like Sam, when you were spotting out the 68 and the 68, you were absolutely right. You had to look at those numbers first. Now, here's my question. Why are these two the same?
That's a good question.
Why are those the same? Why is 124 over 300 the same as 31 over 75? How could I check that in a calculator to make sure that they're the same number?
Simplifying.
Exactly, you could simplify. So type in 124, hit the ABC button, hit the little ABC, and then type in 300, and then hit enter.
31.75.
31 over 75. So it is the simplified version of that fraction. So these are the same. Okay, same with the other ones. So if you went 12 over 36, so 12 ABC 36, and you typed in, and you hit enter, it's 1/3. And that's why the 33% is the same number. And then same with your other ones, you could simplify these
Yeah.
others. So that's what I did here. I just simplified these fractions down, and then I gave you what the percent and the decimals are. So yeah, those are the pairings. So they came in pairs of 4s. That was pretty good. Okay, do we feel comfortable with like changing like to decimals, changing to?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then we're good. We're done for the day. So that's all I wanna make sure of. Let's do our little exercise.